Today we are with plant expert Burrell, Scarlett at Evergrow Garden Center, and we're going to be talking about poinsettias. Tell me something. When I was growing up, poinsettias were tall shrubs. What has taken place over the last, I don't know, is it about 20, 30 years that we now have all of this variety?
Okay, thanks to the technology of plant breeding. So what was obtained, you said when you were growing up?
When I was growing
So many decades that?
few decades,
decades ago.
Yes, they were shrubs only.
Right, so plant breeders have made massive strides in what is called hybrid breeding, plant breeding. So what has happened over the years is that they have bred new hybrids that are now dwarf short plants. So you breed in height, you breed in colors. So if you look at the colors that's obtained now, you have a whole array of colors now. So those wild or original varieties were very tall. So we have grown them now into short varieties that you get them blooming at this height. Yeah.
How do they get the colors? I mean, is it that they keep... I notice I see new colors each year.
Oh, you mean how
do they get the variety? Because they were always
or...
red earlier on.
Okay, there's what is called like a mutation.
Okay.
So plants will mutate in the wild naturally from time to time, or what you call sport. So you will have this plant growing as a red, and then there's a sport that comes to a marble or a pink, and you
this very beautiful variegated one.
But then, if you look here, these are the flowers. So if you have a true, say, white color and a red color, you can cross them and get a pink. So yes, so they can do crossing of the pollen. So you pollinate. And look now, these are the flowers in here. The flowers are here. This is not flower, this is a bract. It's a colored leaf. So it's a leaf like here that has been modified to have the color. And it's called a bract when it's colored.
What causes the change in the leaf color?
Okay, so once the plant is, the plant will grow vegetatively from say March to about August. Once you start to get short days, the plant will be triggered to bloom, to flower.
Yes.
And again, these are the flowers in the center here. And as they flower, the leaves are modified, are becoming colored so that they can attract insects to pollinate the flowers.
Okay.
So they gradually change, so they can change right down. So it progressively changes. So if you take this one, for example, you will see that it starts to color here, and the green leaves themselves are coloring up now. So it's changing.
Oh yes, I see that.
So
change.
even the green leaves. So the chlorophylls start to disappear, and the pigments start to come alive. Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's
okay. I think I've heard you say that in terms of what to do with the plants while we have them indoors, that the main thing is not to overwater.
correct.
Right? How often should we water?
An average of once per week is good.
Okay.
So it's water it well, allow it to drain well, not sitting in the water. That is the key.
And if there's a saucer, pour that
Pour
water
it
off
away, yes.
before putting it
Yes.
back.
Yes.
Okay. These last a few weeks, right? And generally they lose the leaves, most of the leaves, I think.
Not really. Most of the, well, what will happen, they lose the flower first. So the flower buds here will start to fall, and then you will have some new leaves start to coming out of here.
Okay.
So some new leaves will start to come. So these will not revert to a green. They will just start to send out some new leaves, and these colored one will disappear.
Okay.
Right.
So Christmas is finished, and the plants are no longer as pretty as they were.
Right.
What do we do, and when? Is it spring that we should be thinking of repotting?
Okay, so round about springtime is good time. So, but immediately after you have removed them from your indoor setting, you need to just prune them up a little. And by pruning up a little, you should be taking off these tops here,
right?
These bloom. So you take the whole thing off, and you will have new buds coming out at every leaf base here. So don't be concerned. Just clip this off.
Yeah.
Clip this off. Clip this off, and then new buds will be coming out. And these are now vegetative. They won't be colored.
Yes.
So you are getting now vegetative growth. That's what you want.
If we planted this in the ground, does it mean it will be a bigger plant?
It will be big, yes, because...
Not like when I was a child.
Yes.
Decades ago.
Right. So it will become medium height, because it's getting a lot of nutrients and so from the root system. So it will...
Okay.
Yes.
What do we do with it for the rest of the year? Because the aim is to have it reblooming or coloring at the end of the year, so we have them again next year.
You said, what do you do at the end of the year?
What do we do during the course of
the season?
Right. At the end of the season, we're going to cut back.
Right.
But what do we do after that, throughout the year?
Okay. So you maintain it like you would maintain any vegetative plant. So you make sure it gets enough fertilizer, it gets enough sunshine, it is not shaded, it's well treated, no insects, and it will just grow. You want to start to prune it though at about, you're going to give it 2 prunings before it's initiated to bloom again. So you want to prune it, like first prune about July. And then you can do a final prune in middle September.
Okay.
So you get multiple branches.
Okay.
And these now are the ones that will Okay, so we had pruned these. So we started with one single plant like this.
One stem.
We have one stem, so this is the difference between a prune and a no prune. So this one, both started the same way. We prune this early, one prune, and then you get multiple branches.
Branches coming off.
Right.
So, if you prune, you said the second prune is in August.
Right, so this was only pruned once.
Okay.
So if you had pruned this again, this would be a fatter plant.
Okay. If you prune this, you'll get enough leaves coming out in time for Christmas, even from August? Okay.
Or even up to September you can.
Even up to September you can prune?
Yeah.
Alright. How do we get them to color?
There are two ways you can do it, allow it to be done naturally, or you can depend on, or you can manipulate it. What it needs is whatever system you use. You need, okay, you know, up to say August. Your sunlight is about 12 hours light, 12 hours darkness. When you get into about the middle of September, you start to change where you are getting now more darkness and less light.
Yes.
So you are down to now about 10:48. So once you get to about 10 hours of darkness, no, I say that. It would be
14 hours.
So it's 14 hours now of darkness. Right, and less light.
Yes.
They will be triggered to blue. So that will happen naturally beginning in September. Or you can manipulate that with shading, manipulate light, that's all.
Just put it in a very dark area. Because I have one at home that just did not change.
Yeah, but dark is so subjective.
Yes.
Dark is...
There's a street light, it's going to affect it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And what you call a dark room still lit. So dark is complete darkness, no light.
No light at all for 14 hours.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
When we cut back and we have these stems, can we root those stems and get some new plants there as well?
Alright, so like right now the plants is in the floral cycle now.
Yes.
Plants are usually in two cycles, vegetative and floral.
Right.
So they are in flowering cycle. Now they are least receptive to rooting in flowering stage. It's a general principle in plants.
Yes.
So what you want to do is to get them in the vegetative growth mode before you attempt propagation or rooting piece or yes. So don't try to root here.
Right.
Wait until you are pruned back and you are now getting vegetative green foliage, green limbs, green pieces.
But what about the pieces that have been cut back when you were pruning it?
When you're pruning, no, those must be dumped.
Those must be dumped?
Yes, so if we took off this, so this now would not have had flower in it. So this would have been something without flowers, say. So I just trim this.
By say the first part of the year.
Right. So after you have pruned back and this now grows out like this. You
after
prune
the
back.
First pruning, second
pruning, can be any pruning because it's going to be vegetative.
Okay.
So you green. Right. So you take about 4 inches of this. Wow, the pro should be talking with the instrument. You're gonna cut these off. So we're gonna cut them.
Right.
All the colored parts off. Right. See that right here? Cut.
Okay.
So since we cannot go forward in the springing, what will happen from each of these little points, new growth will come, not colored, green.
Right.
So when those come out, let's say this one, this was one but not colored up, right? Then you can cut it again and then take this cutting now to be the what you're going to use over here.
What you're going to plant.
Right, because then it will be green and
it would have been green. All right. And what is left back in the pot? Could be would you transfer that to a bigger pot?
You could at that time, yes.
What is left back in the pot? And that will also stay.
It's a good idea to do that.
Okay.
Yes. This is a rooting gel. So you dip in the rooting gel. It comes as a powder also. So you have gel, powder, and you have a concentrate. So you have 3 forms that this rooting hormone comes in. So you dip. Then you have a cup like this. This is a 3.5 filled with Lambert potting mix. Then you insert this little cutting in there like that, and then you put it in your shade house. You can put like a plastic
we might
bag.
not have a shade house.
Right. You could put a little plastic bag over this. So you put 3 sticks into this thing. So one, it should be a little taller.
Yeah.
Then you just put a plastic bag over this.
You would have watered it before.
This, right. You've watered it, you missed it, and then you just put your plastic bag over it. And every 2 days or so you remove the thing, mist it, and you should get a root in about 14 days, 12 to 14 days.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Of course, you can do this propagation for your home purposes, but you know the plants are licensed and they are not to be propagated for commercial purposes. But of course, you can do it for your.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Burrell Scarlett, the plant expert, for spending a little time with us and making us know what we can do. So hopefully have some of our plants next year blooming, coloring, but we'll still come back to Evergrow Garden Center and purchase all the new varieties you're gonna have.
Hi, thank you so much. It was indeed my pleasure. When it's time to do the actual propagation, come again, and we will go through that when we have the vegetative parts of the plant.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.